Greetings, my empire. Drezu here, back with another video, and today I'm coming at y'all with a PvP stam necro build. Now, shout out to my boy Frank 1982, you feel me? He had commented down on my last video, which was my stamina DK build. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you go check it out. That build is fun, man. I love stam DK. But on that build, in the comments, he said, can I make basically a unkillable necro build, or a necro build that's hard to kill, you feel me? So I said, I got you, you feel me? I said I was working on one right now, and I was working on an unkillable necro, and here it is, man. Now, this necro, bro, I kind of cheated, you feel me? I cheated because this necro is just too tanky, you feel me? It's too tanky. It's too hard to drop the healing alone, man. You know what? I'm not gonna even spoil the build. You're just gonna see it once I get into the build. But before I get into the build, man, I want to ask y'all to hit the like button, subscribe, join the empire. You already know, helps me out, helps the channel out, and helps the channel grow. And without further ado, let's get into the build. Now, you already know we always start with the character sheet. So our character sheet, this is how it goes. We have 12k maximum magicka. We don't need too much maximum magicka. Necro doesn't use too many magicka abilities, and the magicka abilities that they do use is not that expensive. 500 magicka recovery, 26 maximum health, 25k is what I wanted to reach. We got to 26, pretty good. Health recovery, you already know health recovery is trash, so we don't even care about that. We got 30k maximum stamina, 1,700 stamina recovery. We have 4,200 weapon damage unbuffed, 3,000 physical penetration unbuffed. And now let's go into the back bar. Back bar, our resistances are sitting at 20k spell resistance, 20k physical resistance, and we have almost 2,000 critical resistance. Now, buff stats. Buff resistance is first. 26k spell, 26k physical. Not the best, you feel me? Not the most resistances, but we make up for you. You probably thinking, bro, how is this unkillable and its resistances is not even at cap? Listen, wait until I get into the sets, man. You gonna see how it's unkillable. So 26k of each resistance. Now buff damage. Our buff weapon damage, we have 5,500. Oh, and our buffed what's it called, penetration. Buff penetration, we have 8,229. That's not including major breach and stuff like that. So really good damage. You know, we have over 5,500, and we have 8,000 penetration, and like I said, that's without major breach, you feel me? Major breach, that goes up to, like, you know, close to 12k, 13k. Now we have 64 into the stamina attribute. Our race, we are a wood elf. Wood elf, just one of the best races for necro. We get natural penetration, and we get natural raw stamina sustain, which I feel like necro really needs in a race. So wood elf, really good. You could also go orc, of course. You could go nord. You could go imperial, whatever. I chose wood elf. There's, you know what I'm saying. The boon, we running the serpent. Now, this is my personal boon. We do have 1,700 stamina recovery, and with this buff we get almost to 2,000. Now, if you feel like you can run this with a lower stamina pool, if you feel like you want to run it with a lower stamina pool, you could change this to whatever you want. You could change this to the warrior, you could change this to the lover, whatever. I like the increased stamina pool, so I'm gonna stick with the serpent, but you could change it to whatever you want to change it to. The food we are running is lava foot, soup, and sultrus. This is another thing you could change if you want to change this to let's see, if you want to change this to a triple play food, like you know, max health, max stamina, max magicka, you can. If you want to run anything you want to run, you feel me, you can change this food, because like we do have a decent stamina pool in terms of recovery. So if you feel like you want to run a different food, you can. This is what I recommend though. This is what I like. I feel like the extra, raw stamina really helps you out, just to get your roll dodges off, your your break freeze, your blocks, you feel me, and not completely shred through your stamina. But if you feel like you could work with a lower stamina pool, like I said, go ahead, do you. Now let's get into this. Actually, before we get into the sets, let's get into the pots, man. The pots. So you already know, triple play pots, best pot in the game. This is what I run, you feel me. Triple play just does everything I need: max magicka, max health, max stamina, and gives you the recoveries for all of those. So really good, just to get my resources up. You can also run the essence of health potions. You can run a movability potions too. I don't have none on me right now, but a movability potions is good too. And the essence of health, the one that gives you like major vital. Actually, you don't need to run that. Yeah, you don't need to run that because of our sets. We're gonna get into the sets right now, you feel me. So first set on our front bar, our damage set. We are running stuns. You already know stuns and necro goes together like cake and frosting. You know what I'm saying? I was about to say cake and butter, but I was like, frosting will work better. So stuns, great sword. We running it, so you can run a maul. I'm running the sword just for the extra weapon damage. You can run maul. A lot of people say that maul, scales up to higher damage. I personally am still a big fan of the sword, because I feel like the sword, I don't know, because weapon damage does translate to healing as well. So like you have to think about that as well, you feel me. When people say that maul translates to higher damage, yeah, but for a necro, or for like classes like necro or templar, you're healing on the offensive as well. So weapon damage is not only for the damage. That stat is based off healing as well, and how much healing you do. Now we are running the weapon damage enchantment, Nernhome, for more weapon damage. Then what stuns does is it gives you a line of weapon damage, a line of weapon and spell damage, a line of offensive penetration, another line of weapon and spell damage. Then when you deal damage to enemies who are off balance, your physical and spell penetration is increased by 5,000 for 10 seconds. So that's why when we hit the skeleton with uppercut, we got the penetration buff. Basically this gives us a fat 5,000 penetration. Really good. And plus with our major breach ability, we get a lot of penetration. So we're pretty decent on the penetration front, I would say. But if you run more, if you feel like you want more penetration, I guess. But I feel like a sword will be really better for this build, you feel me, just for the extra healing. And this build is really healing oriented, as you will see, you feel me. Next on the back bar, we are running the master sword and shield. I have the multi-effect. I think I want to multi-effect enchantment is not bad. It don't really matter what enchantment you have on it. You can put any enchantment. But for the dagger, I am running poisons. You can run whatever you want on the back bar. I run poisons just to when I hit enemies with puncture, I have a chance to poison them, which I like. So I like to run double dot poison, get that extra damage off. And being a necromancer does get extra damage over time. I think it's a 50% increase, so the poisons is chunking a little bit harder. So yeah, that's why I run poisons. I'm run defending on the dagger, and what puncturing. Oh, let me go to the shield. Shield, multi-effect enchantment, impenetrable on the back bar. And with what the master sword and shield does is, when you run two of them, it gives you, when you deal damage with puncture, you heal for 3,767 health and gain spell and physical resistance equal to the amount of healing or overhealing or overhealing, you feel me. So basically it's either you heal, or even if you overheal, like if you're at full health and you heal, you're still gonna get those resistances. It gives you resistances equal to the heal over 5 seconds. The scaling scales off your max health. So basically when you hit somebody with puncture, you heal, and whatever the healing you get it as physical and spell resistance. Now this gets boosted, right? This is so good. This is so good for just defense. You know, if you're on the defense, you're buffing up and you're debuffing your enemy. This is so good just to keep yourself up, because not only you getting a pretty decent heal, but you're getting resistances as well, making yourself bulky. Our resistances was at 26k physical and 26k spell. And when I was showing up the stats, I didn't show off, you know, the max resistances, but boom, right there. With that, we're at 31k. We had 31k physical and 31k spell, putting us at near cap just with that alone. You know, just with the Master Sword and Shield alone. So really good heal and really good damage, and our heal does go up, you know, with our other sets. You're gonna see. Next, we have we are running I believe it's 5-piece heavy and 2 medium. Yes, we are running 5 heavy and 2 medium, and our monster set we are running is Malabeth the Scourge. Malabeths. You know what I'm saying? You want critical impen. I kind of have a mixture. I need to change this, bro. Come on, like training. I know. You feel me? Listen, I'm a broke boy. I don't got the shards to change this to N-Pen, but you want N-Pen on everything. But I kind of have a mixture of N-Pen and reinforce. But we have Malabeth's monster set, max stamina on everything as well. You want max stamina on everything. And what Malabeth's does is the first line gives you max health. Then the second piece, when you take damage, you have a 10% chance to create a beam that steals 4,500 health over 6 seconds from the attacker. While the beam holds, you gain major vitality, increasing your healing received by 16%. The beam breaks if the enemy moves further away than 8 meters. This effect can occur once every 6 seconds and scales off your max health. Now, why this is so good? First reason, you feel me? First reason, we're getting another heal over time. We're getting a 4,500 heal over time over 6 seconds, which is really good. You know, even more healing. You know what I'm saying? And the major vitality is the real reason what makes this set so good. Now, while this is up, while Malabeth is up, and I was to hit an enemy with puncture, Malabeth is going to increase the heal I get from that puncture. You know, this 3,950 will probably turn into somewhere close to 5,000 with Malabeth proc. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting a 5,000 physical and spell resistance buff when Malabeth is proc. You know what I'm saying? So that puts me at cap. You know what I'm saying? With that healing increase, that definitely puts me at cap resistance when Malabeth is proc. So really good. Even more healing. This build is just so much healing that you won't be able to drop. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible for you to drop. Next set we are running is the Order of Diagna. I don't even know. Diagna. I'm gonna call it Diagna. You feel me? And what the Order of Diagna does is it adds a line of max health, another line of max health. The 4th piece adds healing taken. The 5th piece adds 5% healing taken, and the 5th piece also grants you minor vitality that increases your healing increases your healing received at all times by 8%. So not only are you getting major vitality from Malabeths, you're getting minor vitality from Order of Diagnas, plus the healing taken from just the stat lines. You feel me? You get a 4% on the 4th piece and a 5% on the 5th piece. So adding that all up just from sets, right? 9, listen, that's 9%, 8%, right? What's 9 plus 8? 17%. 17 plus 16, listen, I could do math. That is 33. Yeah, that is 33% more healing taken with Malabeths and Order of Diagna, both these sets put together. You know what I'm saying? You whoop. I don't know how much I can stress this enough, but you will not drop. You feel me? It's in a 1v1 situation. There's no reason why you should drop. Yeah, in a Zerg situation, if you're like not even a Zerg, you feel me, if you're like in a 3v1 situation, if you're sustaining yourself well, it's no reason for you to drop. Even taking damage from 3 sources, is no way you could drop if you're proccing your abilities right and stuff like that, because it's just too much healing, too much sustain. It's absolutely ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Order of Diagna and Malabeth, they just pair up so well. Like, I've been in PvP just healing like a madman. Like, even with the healing nerf in PvP, even though healing is terrible, with these 2 sets together, I heal like a madman. And being a necro to boot, necros get automatic you know, more healing in their passive. Being a necro to boot, what can I say? This is just an unkillable build. It's unkillable. It's just too much healing. It's hard for this build to drop, and we still have crazy amounts of damage. So like I said, we running 5-piece heavy, 2 medium, you know, all stamina. You want all stamina. I put all stamina so I could get my stamina up to 30k. We have the necklace of Diagna and the 2 rings of Diagna. We have weapon damage enchantment on all of them. They're healthy on the trait, you know, just to get our health up. I guess you could replace one of these with a, you know, infused or blood or whatever you want, because we are a little bit above 25k. But I'm not gonna do that, because I like, you know, extra health doesn't hurt. You feel me? Especially on a build where you're healing that much. Extra health doesn't hurt. It's not going to be hard for you to get to max health. Now let's get into the abilities, man. Let's go to the front bar abilities. So first, you already know, man. You already know we are running Executioner, one of the best executes in the game. Does physical damage and does up to 400% more damage to enemies with less than 50% health. But one of the best abilities, just to get somebody out the way, kill them, they done. Rally, our source of major brutality, our source of minor endurance, and it's a really good heal at the end that is increased by you know, Malabeth's and Order of Diagna. This heal is increased, but you know, basically what it does is it gives you minor brutality, minor endurance for 20 seconds. Then when the effect ends, you get a you know, a 300% increased heal from the original heal. Like, you can heal. Why am I explaining rally? Everybody know what rally is. You could proc rally, you heal from rally, but when you know, every second that goes by, the heal is increased by 15%, and when the heal ends, or when rally ends, you get a 300% heal increase. I don't know why it was so hard for me to explain that to y'all. It's rally. Like, come on. Dizzying Swing. Now, Dizzying Swing, you already know, is our spam move. It does a nice amount of physical damage, sets them off balance, which is gonna proc our stuns. Hitting an enemy that is already off balance stuns them for 2 seconds, and targets that are immune to off balance are snared by 40% for 2 seconds. Just a hard-hitting spam move. Our source of unbalance or off balance, really good. Race Against Time. Now, Race Against Time, this is going to be our source of major expedition. We don't really care about the minor force because we're not really critting on this build. And this ability also, when you activate it, it removes all snares and immobilizations from you and grants you immunity to them for 2 seconds. So really good source of major expedition and really good cleanse for just snares and immobilization. So you want to run this in open world. Now, if you're not in open world, this is basically a free slot. You could basically run anything if you're like dueling and stuff. That's the only, you know, way I would tell you to like switch this out is if you're dueling. You can replace this with Skeletal Mage. I think the Skeletal Archer is the stamina version. You could really replace it with anything you want. Even if you want to replace it with what's it called, Expert Hunter, you can. Even though we're not critting too much, we don't got like a lot of crit, you can replace this with anything you want. Really doesn't matter. But I am running Race Against Time for the open world. Next, we are running Blighted Blast Bones. This is basically our second uppercut that does disease damage, and it applies a major defile on the enemy and a decrease in their healing by 4 seconds. So not only are we giving them basically, once we do this, look, once we do this and uppercut, you feel me, I did that wrong, you feel me, I did it wrong, but hey, once you do that in uppercut, you basically hitting that person with 2 uppercuts, which really hurts. And if they try to heal it off, they get decreased heals, you know, decreased heals and decreased health recovery, but health recovery is already trash, so that debuff doesn't really matter. So yeah, really good. Yeah, basically a hard-hitting second uppercut that is ranged, you know what I'm saying? But they need to fix Blighted Blast Bones. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna act like this ability is all, you know, perfect. This ability is really wonky when it comes to, you know, 1vx situations. Sometimes it just goes off and does its own thing, like it's like a separate being. Like I swear, bro, one time I put up a Blighted Blast Bones and that man left, got a job, got a family, got a house, you feel me, had a white picket fence, then came back and hit the target, bro. It was crazy. But yeah, wonky ability, but when it hits, you feel me. Dawnbreaker Smiting, this is our ult. This is gonna do physical damage, then do an additional physical damage as over time, and it's gonna stun all enemies that's hit by it for 2 seconds. So really good burst damage, puts them on their back and gives you the opportunity to hit them with that executioner and finish them off. Now back bar, we are running Resolving Vigor, our heal over time, really good heal over time, gives us a heal over 4 seconds, and it's pretty cheap. Pierce Armor, this is gonna do physical damage. It's a taunt, you feel me, you already know it's a taunt, but we're not using it for the taunt. We're using it because it inflicts minor breach and major breach on the enemy that reduces their physical and spell resistance by basically over 8,000, you feel me. Actually close to 9,000. It's close to 9,000 physical and spell resistance reduction, you feel me. So on top of our 8,000, you know what I'm saying, from you know, stuns and stuff, with this we basically get close to 16,000 penetration on this build, which is really good. 16,000 is a lot, you feel me. We definitely reached the quota in terms of penetration on this build. Really good. Mortal Coil. Now Mortal Coil, this is basically going to be a heal over time. When a corpse is on the ground, you're going to siphon the corpse, get a heal over time over 12 seconds. Then you also restore stamina over 12 seconds as well. And while this is slotted, you get increased heal about 3%. So what did I say, 33% with you know, Order of Diagna and Malabeth. Now this is an extra 3%, that's 36% more healing, you feel me. And it's absolutely crazy. The tick on this ability alone is absolutely ridiculous. As you can see, the tick, it just tick 500. Just so many heals, so many tick heals. It's crazy. You use this on the defense, you use this on the offense. It's just a really good ability, and that is increased by all our healing increases in our build. Oh, and it's also really good for restoring stamina, you know. Basically, let's see, over 12 seconds. No, I don't even want to do that math. Basically, I'm gonna say it's basically 100%, 100 stamina recovery, you feel me. That's what I'm basically gonna say. It's 100 stamina recovery, because it restores 1,200 stamina over 12 seconds. So I'm gonna say it's basically 100 stamina recovery. All right, Spirit Guardian. Now Spirit Guardian, what this does is it conjures a ghostly spirit, basically for 16 seconds. This spirit heals you, the lowest health target. You know, this could heal other people, but this is basically for you, you know what I'm saying, when you're low health, or you're in a 1v1 situation. This is probably gonna heal you most of the time. It's gonna heal you every 2 seconds, and it restores health. While active, 10% of the damage that you take is transferred to the spirit instead. So this is basically a major protection buff. 10% mitigations with this up. There's really no reason not to use this. Not only is it a decent heal, 10% mitigations while you have it up. Absolutely ridiculous. Get this ability. Summoner's Armor. Now, if you want to run the other morph that pulls people that are using ranged attacks, you can. But I find that more of a tank thing. You know, I am really tanky on this build, but sometimes I pull people that I don't want to pull, or ads I don't want to pull. So I don't like running that. Instead, I run a Summoner's Armor. Now, what Summoner Armor does is it's our source of physical and spell resistance. For 20 seconds, it gives us major result for 20 seconds, and while it's active, the cost of Black Bone, Skeleton Mage, and Spirit Mender is decreased by 50%. So that's this, and that's this getting decreased cost while it's active. So really good. Just to sustain those abilities a little bit. But if you want to run the one that pulls people, you can. You are tanky enough to take all that damage, and dish out a lot of damage as well. So if you want to run it, you can. Go ahead. Next, we are running Temporal Guard. Step backwards in time, resetting your health, magic, and stamina to where they were for 4 seconds ago. This is a good ability for like sort of kiting. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a sticky situation, if you just got bombed or you're getting chased, you're low on resources, you took big damage, then you could use this boop, go back 4 seconds, and go back to 4 seconds to when you were healthy again. You know what I'm saying? But we don't really use this for that. We really use it for while slotted, you gain minor protections, reducing your damage taken by 5%. So basically 5% mitigations on the back bar. And we also use it to get the Sigil bubble that gives us a shield when we block. You can run the Sword and Shield. You can run Shield Wall if you want. If you want to. I don't have Sword and Shield to level 50, so I can't run Shield Wall. You can also... you can run whatever you want. You can run Red Werewolf, whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Temporal Guard. That's the abilities. Now, let's go into CP. Now, CP, let's start off with the blue. Now, blue CP, we have 50 to Untamed Aggression. Weapon and spell damage, raw weapon and spell damage. We have 50 into Wrathful Strikes. Basically gonna increase all our ability damage. By 165. We got Deadly Aim, increase our damage done with single target attacks. Uppercut, Executioner, and I believe Blast Bones as well get an increase of that. Master at Arms pretty much does the same things. These two go hand in hand. Basically, a lot of the same abilities these two utilize. Uppercut, Executioner. I don't know if Blast Bones is with this. I don't know. And yeah, that's basically the slots. I'm not gonna explain all these little ones. You could just look where I have them at, because everybody has different CP, so you could just see where I have the other ones at. All right, now for the red tree, we have 50 into On Guard. While under the effect of crowd control immunity, increases the amount of damage you can block by 2% per stage, and we have 10% block mitigation. Really good, especially when you're getting pressured, you're blocking. We have Sword and Shield, so we do get reduced block cost from Sword and Shield, and we get 10% extra mitigations when we have crowd control immunity. So really good for overall sustain. And Survivor's Spite, we have 50 into Relentless. Relentless is it's my new favorite CP, man. This has become my favorite CP real quick. Being stunned or feared causes you to gain major protection for 3 seconds, reducing your damage taken by 10%. This is basically Bomber's Bane. When you get bombed, when you get that bomb stun, this is basically gonna put that major protection on you and keep you up. Have a better chance of you keep getting kept up. You know what I'm saying? So really good, really nice protections, and yeah. We have Juggernaut to 50. Basically, when we under crowd control immunity, we get a 5% damage reduction. Pairing that with On Guard, and pairing it with the what's it called, Relentless, we basically getting 25% mitigations after we get stunned, which is really good. 25% mitigation, man. That's close to hitting with what the old major protection used to do for you, which was 30% mitigation. And last, we have fortified. That gives us 1,700 armor, basically resistances. Really good. Just to get our resistances up. With the master sword and shield, we are basically at cap resistances. So this helps us get there as well. And green tree, I'm not gonna explain the green tree. You wanna look? Go ahead. That's what I have. And yeah. And that's pretty much it, man. The unkillable necro, man. This build is so hard to drop. Like, if you're dueling, like there's under no circumstances should you drop in a 1v1 situation. I'm telling you that right now. Under no circumstances, you should win most 1v1s, 1vx's, especially like in Cyrodiil and stuff. If you're sustaining yourself right, stuff like that, make sure you have your heals. Make sure you have your tether on. You know what I'm saying? You're getting constant heals, and as they're doing damage to you, Malabeth is proccing, even giving you even more heals. It's pretty much GG. They're not gonna be able to kill you. You're gonna be able to burst them down with all the penetration you have. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the build. If y'all did, make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe, join the empire, and yeah, you feel me? I'm gonna see y'all next time. Dreams of Empire out. I'm gonna see y'all.